Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. The Aspects of Aging weekly talk show with Christine A. Smith. Each Monday at noon Central, Christine hosts unscripted conversations with experts. Learn more at agingbetternetwork.com. Laura Gillott and the Gillott Home Team. Real estate for the Mid-Willamette Valley. Call the office at 541-451-2211. Learn more at teamgillott.com. The Jim Kuhlman Insurance Agency. Since 2003, the best in auto, home, business, life, and even pet insurance. Call them today at 451-753-2500 and online at jimkuhlman.com. 10D Tech. Managed services, cloud services, data backup and recovery, cybersecurity services, and more. Call 10D Tech at 541-250-3672 and online at 10dtech.com. And now let's get on with the show.
Here we are getting on with the show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And glad to be here on another Wednesday with you, Scott. Always such a blessing. Thank you.
Yeah, we missed each other when I was in Oregon by just minutes, really.
I know.
But I'm glad we get to do this every Monday on The Experience Local, Believers in Business, which also broadcasts on 2 radio stations there in Oregon. And then here we are on Wednesday, and Liz is going to be a fabulous guest today. I'm looking forward to hearing from her.
Yes, I am very excited for today, and I am just really in a position now, trusting the joy of the Lord and thankful for life. I've had a rough week so far. We actually lost Maddie, our beagle. For those of you who have been following our YouTube page and YouTube Shorts, Maddie was with me a good share of the time, and very, very sad this last weekend. Super hard for me. But because she was always my shadow. In fact, she was normally right here beside me, sleeping in her bed during the show. And so very sad about that. But you know what? I am thankful for life and for the memories that I have with Maddie, and lots of YouTube Shorts. Everybody should check those out. Join our YouTube page, because I'm telling you, lots of good stuff up there with both Maddie and my cat Maisie. And the best way to find out all about Scott and I is to go to local.theexperience.video. You'll find out everything you need to know there. Also, you can go just straight to the experience.video. They'll take you straight to our YouTube page, because we would really, really like it and appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube page today. So thanks for doing that. Also, please share this out today and tag your friends, because you got to let people know, it's early Wednesday morning and people are just getting rolling. So remind them that we're on today and that Liz is going to be on. It's going to be an amazing conversation, right, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. We always have it, as we say, the most remarkable people on the planet right here on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific. And I believe it'll actually be then 10 a.m. for Liz, because she's on the other side of the continent from you, Russ.
There we go. That's right. Well, you know what? I think that we need to tell everybody 2 more things, then get Liz in the room today. But want to remind everybody that we are here every week on Wednesday on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time, where Scott is. And so we'd love for you to join us. It's on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Not only do we go live on those channels, but then it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, and then Facebook for 30 days. So you can still watch, share, connect even after we're done. Then it converts to Spotify audio podcast, so you can listen. If you don't have time to watch, we'd love for you to do that. Please like and comment on all of those. We love to hear your comments. We love to have you engage. In fact, please engage today on our live broadcast and let us know you're watching, and make sure that you ask questions of our guests or us. We'd love for you to do that. Connect with us, connect with each other online. We'd love for you to do that. And last but not least, remember that we also have a lot of other information on the local.theexperience.video about the
Mhm.
Waco experience, about the experience local that we'd love to share with you. So go check that out today. And Scott, any other comments before we get Liz in the room?
I just want to say I was last week. I spent 4 days at University of Oregon, sleeping on a very durable mattress in the dorms. There, as we were having the Uplift Leadership, and I put the link in the comments. Upliftleadership.org. We provide career counseling for college and high school students, and we spent 4 days with the students. Remarkable stories, just so much fun, so uplifting to spend time with these students. And when you spend time with students like this, high school and college students, I'm looking into the future, and it's pretty bright. So just
Yeah.
very encouraging. I encourage people to follow them as well on their social channels, and you might see some fun videos of this last week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Scott, that's an amazing experience. And I am just thankful you had that opportunity. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, thanks again for being in the comments. And I just want to say hi to my good friend Bob Feathers before we get going. I just got the opportunity, just got back from Boston and saw Bob live and in person. We had coffee. What an amazing friend, an amazing individual. And a lot happening for him right now. And we're praying for you, Bob, and your family. And thank you for taking time to see me while I was back there. I love you, man. So,
Yep,
okay.
Bob is our part of the band on
Yes.
Russ Reels, and so people need to check out Russ Reels. But with that, let's get to the exciting, important, and fun part of the show.
There we go. We're going to get Liz in here. Everybody, welcome Liz Capants here. Hi, Liz.
Hey, guys. I'm so glad Bob Feathers is here, too. That's amazing.
Well, we're so glad to have you, Liz. What a blessing to have you on today. And we're going to start with the real basics here. Who in the world is Liz, and what are you up to? Give us a little snippet on you.
Who in the world is Liz? That's a great question, Russ. So I am a executive search recruiting. I think at the end of the day, I'm a matchmaker, connecting people to opportunities for jobs, as well as doing business to business connections. So a lot of things happening in my world, which I'll be sharing more of. But in a nutshell, it's matching people to opportunities, a lot of networking, B2B networking. And what I truly love about what I do, and I was saying this yesterday to someone, when I meet people and you hear about their story and all the amazing things that they've done in their career and how that's happened, I'm always fascinated by all the talent and that's out there and how they ended up doing what they're doing. And so anyway, truly love what I do.
It's funny because I think many people believe they just have this plain, vanilla, boring life until you start talking to them and asking them questions. And also, I'm interested in your services you're recruiting, because I think the national averages were like 1 in 4 of matching the right candidate with the job, which seems kind of disappointing, but it costs companies so much money to put the wrong person in a job. Can you kind of talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, I not surprised to hear the 1 in 4. I think that at the end of the day, there's a lot that goes into helping to define what the role is and put that process in place to source. We start with sourcing. We've built up an extensive database over the years, but sourcing and really getting to doing the due diligence to understand the skill sets and then make that match. However, it's as important for the company to make sure that this hire is going to be set up for success. So I look at it as it's a 50-50 partnership with the hire. This person has the skills that you need, but it's also up to the company to make sure that they have the resources so they can be set up for success, if that makes sense. Because I've seen over the years, guys, many times where a client of mine might hire someone that only has maybe 3 or 4 out of the skills that they originally wanted. And I kind of scratch my head and go, oh, okay. But they have the other intangible pieces that make them a fit, the right fit. It might be personality. It might be a number of things, right? That they fit to that company, to that position, right? So and then in that example, they've been successful and they have done well. So there's other pieces that go into the fit. I mean, skills are technical skills are important, of course, but yeah.
Well, and this part of the company, getting the person set up for success, that is really important. I've talked to people and I've seen myself where the onboarding process was just stellar, right? The person showed up, they had business cards, their computer set up, they had a company phone, they had all the stuff, everything was good. And then other people was, they show up and it was kind of like, we're going to see if it's going to work out and maybe we'll get you some, maybe we'll introduce you around, but we don't really know if it's going to work. And it seemed like that was a bad plan. It just didn't bring the people into the company and into the culture.
Yep. And like you said, it's costly to make that hire, going through the process, budgeting for what you're going to pay the person, right? So if you're not going to be prepared to integrate them, we do a lot, which we call the post-hire process. So that first 3 to 6 months, person is adjusting to the role, to the company, which a lot of people, I was speaking to a potential client the other day. He's like, I've never heard of a post-hire. What does that mean? But it's as important, if not more important, as finding the person is getting them set up for success and making those introductions, getting them resources that they need, and just having all those touch points, right? So that they feel like they're part of the team. But many times I've seen where a client will hire someone and then it's like, figure it out. Well, it's oftentimes that fails. And but if you have a good onboarding or post-hire, it makes a world of difference. And we've had a lot of success in helping and saving companies thousands of dollars over the years by being part of that post-hire process.
Yeah. I want to say that a lot of it has to do, Liz, with the way that I was treated when I got new jobs and when I felt like people cared and set me up for success. I love how you said that. Setting people up for success makes a huge, huge difference because they come into it thinking that that they want you there, right? That they want you to be part of the situation. And I always found when I brought people in, the day they showed up, they had their business cards, they had a desk set up, they were ready to go. They had a business car, whatever was necessary, and we could just get them moving. And it didn't take 2 weeks to get everything together. Like let's see here in a few days. If you're not working out, we're going to cut you and not pay for those things. Yeah. I think that makes a big difference on their performance, right?
Yes, totally. Yes. Yeah. That probationary time is really key for both parties. Right. So, and oftentimes it might just boil down to basic communication that sometimes that is not there. You have HR that does the I-9, the paperwork, onboarding, and then the new manager is so busy running his business, doing his thing that he may or she may not have the time to or enough time to put in. So it's but when it's done right, it makes a world of difference, and we have a very high retention rate because of that. So
it's funny you just mentioned the I-9 form, and I was working in an accounting office doing taxes back when I was in college, and the I-9 form came out, and a stack of them shows up at the accounting office, the accountant's office, and there was a letter that said explaining what it was and why we needed it, and there was a line in there and said, "This legislation was strongly supported by the American public." And I'm thinking, nobody knew about this thing. We were in the business and we didn't know about it. It shows up one day. So anyway, that's an aside. Yeah. Let's talk about networking, because we know that the best jobs and most jobs really come not by joining the rat race and formatting a better resume that's now readable by the AI and uploaded into these different systems, because everyone else is doing that as well. But people really connect through jobs. They get customers, they get jobs through networking and so forth. So let's talk about networking and your experience there, because I think you have some deep experience here.
Yeah. And I didn't even realize networking was a skill. Truly had no idea till I probably about 10 years ago, really, when I stepped into networking. And for me, it was a very natural extension of meeting people, finding people for jobs, finding companies that are looking for people. So that's really a big part of networking. And it was a game changer for my business. And I personally enjoy it. Like I was saying earlier, I really love meeting people and hearing their story. And I'm so inspired by the talent and all the things that are out there. But it does take time to put into networking and to also feel confident to go and do that. So I'll work with a lot of executives that are in transition that maybe haven't networked and put themselves out there to help them build a network or reconnect.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree with that, because connection and community building is huge in my mind. And like Bob is saying, the know, like, and trust factor, getting people know who you are, like you, and trust you through the process, whether you're looking to be part of a team in a company, you need that, or whether you're looking at customers that you're bringing in, it all works the same. You've got to just have that, just really have that connection, and through networking with others and networking within your business as well. I think a lot of times, Liz, and you can comment on this, people are so outwardly focused that they forget about what's important inward in their business too, right?
Right. That's a good point. Oftentimes they don't, or they don't have the time because they're so focused on their job, as they should be, right? But they may forget to really put the time in internally within the organization. And it is an absolute skill. I call it the ripple effect, guys. When this was back, I think 2017, all of a sudden my network sort of blew up. I'm not sure how it happened, but it's the ripple effect of people hearing your name, recommending you, referring you. And I didn't even realize what was happening. I was like, wow, this is like insane. But the ripple effect is so powerful when you can just do the right thing, work hard, be consistent, be authentic. It's sort of, basic. I don't know. Maybe I like networking more than other people. So maybe for me, it comes more naturally. I don't know. But when you put that time in, and for me, I think, again, it was a very natural extension because I'm recruiting. Maybe if I was an accountant, I was crunching numbers in the, back office, and I wasn't out people facing. Maybe that's different. But I think for me, it's just it comes very naturally to me. And, a lot of that, I think, stems from my parents. My father was an incredible networker. And of course, back then, I never listened to him. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like, no. But now I'm like, wait, I'm way more like my father than I ever thought.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Curtis made a comment about networking being important, especially as an introvert, but introvert, extrovert, nobody is one or the other. There's this continuum between them, and we need to feed both, because it's really being an extrovert or introvert is really about where we get energy. And my experience is that they say extroverts are natural networkers. I said, no, not extroverts are just naturally talkative and like to be with people. And they don't necessarily network because it's just yak, 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 yak. The poor introvert is there not networking because they don't say anything. But I love that you say networking is a skill. And some people, naturally talented. But if it's a skill, it means we can learn how to be better networkers. And just like the person who's a fast runner, maybe they're gifted, but they can get better by practicing. The person who's not a great runner can get better by practicing. So what are some practical tips that you share with these executives when they're trying to step into this world that maybe not is natural to them?
Yeah, great question. Start with reaching out or putting a list together with who you've worked with, even if it was 5 years ago or so, to reconnect. I found that people love it when you remember them and you reach back out. So sometimes people hesitate and like, oh, but I haven't spoken to this person in forever. But when you do that outreach and you remember them, they're like, this, thank you. I'm so glad you thought of me or you remembered me. They appreciate that, right? At the end of the day, it's people to people connecting. So start by creating that list of who you know, who you've had a relationship with, and then start doing that outreach, always giving first. I'm a big fan. You guys probably know Adam Grant. I follow him. Do you guys follow Adam Grant? He's a TEDx speaker. He talks about networking. He wrote this great book called Give and Take, and it's all about those that give first in networking or business development. And his research showed people that give first, they far outpaced those that are takers, with like more transactional kind of what's in it for me. So important to always bring value. How can you help the other person? Just learn about what they do. And then from there, also target what you're looking for in a career or business, what type of referrals, what type of job. I look at networking for a business and a job seeker. It's the same skill as a business owner, small business owner, or a job seeker, right? They're looking for projects, looking for work, as a job seeker is. And what I found years ago was people that came from a corporate environment that had relied on the identity of the company for so long, again, understandably so, that's where they're working. When they left that, they almost like didn't know how to advocate for themselves, or they weren't confident to sort of put themselves out there. And so they probably looked at me like I'm a mad person, but anyway, they're like, but then getting them started so that they can feel confident to really advocate for themselves and start connecting it. And I think today, in today's workplace and the market, it's more important than ever to have a network. There's so many shifts and changes that you have to. It's always been important, but I think even more so in today's world.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think that most all that I do is through networking and connection and building community with people, whether places I've worked, places that I have been able to get business and work with people or support and bless others. I think a lot of that sometimes when you're looking at networking, don't always think inward. What do I get out of it? Think of what can I do for other people, right? And as you do that, when it boomerangs back to you, right?
Totally. Yeah. In so many unexpected ways too, over the years. Sometimes I'll, meet someone and think, oh, this is a great conversation, but I don't really see any business or anything come. But then boom, all of a sudden out of left field, another referral might come that I never expect. So it's always who they might be connected to. And also just not counting on that, just be consistent, be true to yourself, be curious, be interested in other people. Again, I might be the anomaly because I think I enjoy it maybe more. I mean, you guys are expert too. Bob Feathers is commenting here. Make sure your network is broad. Absolutely. And
yeah, I love that comment because you just never know what tomorrow's going to bring when you connect to somebody.
Right.
And then you connect someone, and when you can be that bridge and you can say, oh, I was just at this event and you need to talk to my friend Bob Feathers, and things come together, and that allows you to add value to your network as well. And it's not just about, and so I love that you talk about being a giver first, and that's an important part of networking. I want to get into your brain about the future, because a lot of things are changing around us. A lot of things are happening in the workplace. You're working with companies that are looking for talent. You have talent that is looking for jobs. Let's talk about how AI is affecting all of this, either replacing jobs or enhancing the job search.
Yeah, such a great question. And a question that a lot of companies are going through pause, or do we need a head of marketing, or can AI really do half of this role? And then we hire a college graduate to do the rest of this. So we've seen, and especially beginning of the year, new administration, kind of big picture, a lot of changes. So a lot of clients that were in pause mode, and then we have, the tariffs and everything else happening that trickles down the workplace. But we're starting to see some things open up more now. And basically internally, a lot of organizations are trying to figure out those skills, and no one has like a totally clear picture because there's so much out there in the market. So just a lot of change, regardless of job function. And my role, I feel, is changing to also really be able to help educate and be part of those discussions so that they can get some clarity on what it is they're trying to hire, or is this an AI function? At the end of the day, though, we are always going to need people to be able to interpret or to communicate the information that comes from AI and do our due diligence, make sure it's accurate. But it's interesting times. From what I've read, we will see also way more jobs come out of this whole acceleration of AI. So those that are getting replaced, the number of new jobs that we'll be getting will far outpace that. So I think executives I work with now, like we'll have to just have that open mind to learning and to not be afraid of embracing it and just going for it, even if they're at a more senior level. And then I'm also too internally within my organization, we're looking at bringing in more skills training to help these candidates and then help the clients too, so we can become better at making that match. So,
I was talking to a company recently, and they're using. There's companies out there that are using the AI voices.
a lot.
To do like screening interviews. So those initial screening interviews.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a fast moving world. And that's why people need you, Liz. There's so much happening. They need people that they're up on what is going on out there and how they can put their best foot forward and how they can network and connect with others. And with that thought, I'm going to be the responsible host and say that we're at the end of our time for today. So we want you, Liz, to have the final say here of this conversation and let us know what's your gold nugget from today's conversation. What do you really want people to remember? And then let everybody know how they get in touch with you, because I tell you, people need to reach out and utilize your talents and abilities. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys again for this opportunity. It's so great to be here. You can reach me on LinkedIn. And happy to connect with anyone who might be job searching or struggling with who they're looking to hire. And golden nugget, just keep connecting, keep putting yourself out there, keep sharing your value, educate people on what you do. Never assume people know what you do. Educate them so that they can clearly understand and enjoy it. Be curious and enjoy it. I think just bring that energy of interest to other people. People love it when you ask questions about themselves. They love talking about themselves. My mother taught me that. She's like, people love it when you ask them questions. I'm like, you know what? You were right. I look forward to speaking with any referrals, or a lot going on in my world. So
well, we're grateful that your parents are shining through you.
Oh, yeah. And that's on my list now. I'm going to be writing a book, and really shout out to my parents that really kind of paved the way. And I am I feel very fortunate. So.
Well, we're fortunate to have you on today. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you. We are going to wrap things up and say goodbye on screen, but hang tight in the green room. We'll be right there after we get things wrapped up.
Okay. Fantastic.
Thanks, Liz.
Thanks.
All right. I cut her off. There you go. I try not to do that, but anyway, you're welcome, Liz. Thank you.
The fast finger on the mouse, I tell you.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, her contact information is right there in the comments and the show notes. And I want you all to know that it's all clickable. You can go straight to Liz. You don't even have to remember that stuff. So make sure to take advantage of that. Also, please share this out with your friends and your community, because there's so many people that really need this. Share it, tag them, let them know what's going on. And if you want to have a great resource for
Mhm.
remembering all these amazing guests that we have. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe today. I'm telling you, it's as easy as going local.theexperience.video. That gives you all the information about us and a place to subscribe to our YouTube page, or just go straight to theexperience.video. That will take you directly to our YouTube page today. Love it if you would subscribe. And remember that we are here every week, Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time. And this also sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook after we're done. So you can watch forever on LinkedIn and YouTube, 30 days on Facebook, and it converts to audio podcast on Spotify. If you don't have time to watch, you can listen, and we would love for you to do that. Scott?
Yeah, I just think that Liz had such great tips today about jobs, resources, and networking. So either for yourself, or I guarantee you that you know somebody that is looking for a job or thinking about a job, and get them connected up with Liz. Have them watch this episode, and be the hero for your friend today.
Absolutely. Scott, as always, appreciate you, and what a blessing it is to be with you every Wednesday and Monday. And everybody,
And occasionally on a Thursday afternoon with Russ Reels. So
there you go. And by the way, everybody, a great episode of Russ Reels Live tomorrow. How to maintain a positive attitude and joy through life's trials. You're going to want to check that out. And it's going to be a great episode tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Love for you to check that out. So we're only a day away from that. And Marketing with Russ tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Scott, tell everybody about the Waco Experience, how they catch up on that.
Yeah, the Waco Experience, an American story. It, of course, broadcasts every Saturday morning at 8:30 here in Waco. The towers reach from Austin to Dallas, but you can find it wherever you find podcasts, and you can go to the wacoexperience.com and click on that and find your favorite find your favorite place to listen to podcasts. We've just got some fabulous guests. In fact, the one that's coming up this weekend is Emily Kurtner. She owns North Crest RV Park, and just a fabulous story how we met because of the floods down in Kerr County.
Yes. Well, I'm telling you, Scott, amazing things you're doing. Everybody, we look forward to seeing you next week on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And you also can join us every Monday together on the Experience Local at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Texas Standard Time on the Experience Local as well. And we appreciate you. Until next week, have a blessed and amazing week and enjoy
the experience.
All right. See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.